The man who just performed for 128 million people at the Super Bowl got paid $1,000, not $1,000 per minute, not $1,000 per song, 1,000 total. To most people, that's an insult. To Bad Bunny's accountant, it's the greatest ROI in the history of the music business. Because while the internet is debating his set list, Benito is using that free performance as a global commercial to turn his $100 million empire into a $1 billion legacy. This isn't a halftime show, it's a high stakes business play designed to create a global demand shock. And the crazy part, he's doing it without singing a single word in English. Stay with me, because what happened on that stage on February 8th wasn't just a concert. It was a masterclass in leverage, scarcity, and knowing your value when everyone else tells you to compromise. To understand why a man worth $100 million would work for minimum wage, you have to look at where he started. Every empire has a humble beginning. For Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, it was the Econo supermarket in Vega Baja, Puerto Rico. Just 10 years ago, the man headlining the biggest event on the planet was packing customers' groceries and pushing shopping carts under the Caribbean sun. He wasn't born into a music dynasty. His mother was a schoolteacher, his father was a truck driver. He spent his nights uploading tracks to SoundCloud, building a digital footprint from absolute zero. This phase wasn't just about survival. This was where he built the intimate connection with his home island that would later become his most valuable business asset. Most artists dream of crossing over by singing in English to chase the American dollar. Benito did the exact opposite. By refusing to change his language, his culture, or his roots, he didn't just reach the top of the charts, he redefined the economics of global superstardom. He didn't just build a fan base, he built a moat. In business, a moat is your unfair advantage. By staying 100% Spanish, he created a unique value proposition that commands a premium. While others adapt to the US market, he forced the US market to adapt to him. He became Spotify's most streamed artist globally 4 times. In 2025 alone, he generated a staggering 19.8 billion streams. Let's look at the math. Streaming pays roughly $4 to $6 per thousand plays. That volume translates to an estimated $79 million to $118 million in gross streaming revenue annually. He proved that linguistic accessibility isn't a barrier, it's a filter for the most loyal fan base on earth. But a hit song was just the beginning. The real wealth came from a logistical and financial explosion in the touring world. In 2022, Bad Bunny did something unprecedented. He launched 2 separate record-breaking tours in a single calendar year. El Último Tour del Mundo grossed nearly $117 million. Then, the world's hottest tour raked in another $314 million. Combined, that's over $430 million in ticket sales. After taxes and massive production costs, we're talking 40 trucks and 3 planes to move his gear. He personally took home an estimated $88 million that year. By late 2025, his most wanted tour sold out 49 shows, grossing another $210 million. But here's the genius move. He then pivoted to a 30-show residency in San Juan. He didn't just make $40 million for himself. He injected an estimated $200 million into the local economy. He turned himself into a one-man stimulus package. You can't cancel someone who is the backbone of an island's economy. Now, let's talk about that $1,000 Super Bowl check again. The NFL doesn't pay performers. It's a policy that's been in place for decades. Why? Because the Super Bowl isn't a gig. It's a global advertisement for your intellectual property. After a show like this, streaming typically jumps 300%. On February 8th, 2026, over 128 million people watched him perform. Within 72 hours, his US stream spiked by 470%. This created massive pricing power for his next venture, the Debbie Tirar Mas Photos World Tour. He didn't get paid $1,000. He got paid in distribution. He used the NFL's platform to capture an audience that will pay him back 10 times over in the coming months. But you don't get to a $100 million net worth by just singing. Bad Bunny is a master of diversification. He treats his career like a private equity portfolio with four distinct pillars. Pillar 1, Brand Partnerships. He's selective. He's not just an influencer, he's a global ambassador. From his sold out Adidas sneakers to high fashion campaigns with Gucci and Calvin Klein, these deals are estimated to be worth $8 million to $12 million annually. Pillar 2, the big screen. He's moving into Hollywood. He earned roughly $150,000 for Bullet Train, but with his 2025 and 2026 roles in Happy Gilmore 2 and Caught Stealing, his acting fees are skyrocketing into the seven-figure range. Pillar 3, the WWE. He's a professional wrestler, earning an estimated $100,000 per appearance, but more importantly, he drove over $500,000 in merch sales for the WWE during his first run. He knows that his fans don't just listen, they buy. Pillar 4, Ownership. He co-owns the Los Cangrejeros de Santurce basketball team and launched Gekko, a high-end Japanese steakhouse in Miami. He is building a lifestyle brand, not just a discography. When he buys a team or opens a restaurant, he isn't just spending money, he's capturing the Benito economy. But here is the weird part. The part most MBAs would tell you is a bad investment. His Good Bunny Foundation has funneled millions back into Puerto Rico supporting arts, sports, and disaster relief. In his own words, it's not about the money all the time. But ironically, that social capital is what makes his brand unshakable. In a world of sellouts, Benito is the buy in. His fans protect his legacy because they feel like they're part of his win. That loyalty is the ultimate demand shock. When you give back to your roots, you don't just build a fan base, you build an army. Bad Bunny's journey from bagging groceries at Econo to a $100 million net worth isn't a fluke of the algorithm. It's the story of a man who knew his value and refused to discount it. He didn't cross over, he brought the world to him. He proved that authenticity is the highest margin product on the market. So, as you look at your own business, your investments, or your career, ask yourself, are you trying to sound like everyone else just to fit in? Or are you brave enough to build your own linguistic moat? Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio is still here, and his empire is just getting started. If you want to understand the hidden moves behind the world's biggest earners without the finance bro fluff, you're in the right place. This is Monbisfy, where we break down the most complex stories in money, business, and finance into simple, actionable lessons. Hit subscribe to make sure you never miss the next masterclass.